Must Think conference. Mr. Sheelongo, I understand that you've hosted the conference, so I'd like you to enlighten us more, as in how was your experience and were you satisfied with how everything was?
Thank you very much for the question. The meeting was a success. I would say the conference was a success. We even went beyond our expectations. The people or the number of people who turned up went beyond what we thought. So, as a matter of fact, we ended up had to return back some people because the venue couldn't really accommodate a large number of people. So we didn't really expect a lot of people to turn up because we have been understanding what is going on around our youth, because a lot of them they are not really they are not really buying in the issue of self-development. But if it was an entertainment sort of event that was they would see them, a lot of them there. But in this case, but I'm so very much happy, pretty happy, because we had a lot of people, a lot of young people coming on, really with intentions to change their minds and to invest in their minds.
Well, it's unfortunate that the space wasn't big enough and that you had to send some people back. But moving on to the next question, what were the objectives of this conference and what would be your objectives moving forward?
Well, the objective of this conference is more into mental transformation, that's one. And number two is to foster and stimulate, and not only stimulate but to provoke the mind of the young people into start thinking about entrepreneurship. So that is our focus for these whole conferences, and we really hope we will be able to do greater things in that area.
You mentioned mental transformation. I would love to know, how does a person's mindset influence their entire life?
It's a very good question. And I should highlight that, I should mention that your life as it is a product of your mind. With another word, I should say your life is an overflow of your mind. Your life is a true reflection of what is going in your mind. In your mind, yes. So therefore, if you truly are hoping to change your life, you must begin by changing what is going on in your mind. You must begin by changing your thought process, the way you think. But not only that, the mind itself is also a product of something, and that something is the one that is the root cause of everything. Your mind is a product of your exposure. Whatever you have decided or you have chosen to expose yourself to, that will become the type of life that you would live. In school, we have learned about these 5 receptors. Some prefer to call it 5 sense organ, the sense organ. The likes of the eyes, the ears, and smell, taste, and whatnot. But for example, the role of the eyes is not really to see. Yes, it's to see, but behind seeing or beyond seeing, there is a bigger picture, a bigger role, which most of us don't know. Because the role of these receptors is to collect information around your surrounding, then send it to your brain. Now, when your mind received this information, it now processed this information into a thought. Now, it is this thought that will result into an action. Now, action repeated is what becomes a behavior. And a behavior repeated results into a habit. And a habit repeated is the one that forms your characters and forms your personalities. And your character and your personality is actually what determines your life. When somebody is saying he loves or he likes your life, what he actually means is that he loves your characters, your personalities. So the life itself It's a product of characters. So I was just trying to explain this value change, this change for you to understand how your life becomes the type of life that you are living today. So most of the people, especially our young people, they are not really aware of this process change of what is happening. That's why they don't really care much to what they are exposing themselves to. And these are the things that we are preaching in every day to say, look, what you are exposing yourself to, what you are choosing to watch, for example, to listen to, for example, conversation that you are listening have a greater impact to the type of life that you would have. So it is all these things that we are trying to advocate for a youth, young people to know that there is much to life than just what they think they know.
Our next question is the theme. The name of your theme, Youth Must Think. I couldn't help but pick up the two main words, youth and think. Why is it so critical to think, and why focus on the youth mainly?
Thank you. Let me answer your question by starting with the word thinking. It came to surprise me that most of the youth don't really know what thinking is. And not only youth, everyone, or almost everyone, I think they don't really have the clear definitions or the clear definition of the concept of thinking. But before I dwell into what thinking is, let me quickly begin with what thinking is not. When you are sitting in an examination room, or in a examination class, writing examination. So when you are sitting on that seat, looking up in the sky, scratching your head, biting your pen with the hope to remember what you have learned, that is not thinking. And this now, what is funny, most of people when trying to recall, to remember what they have learned or heard, in most cases they think they are thinking. So when you are in the examination room trying to remember what you have learned, you are not thinking at all. That is not thinking, that's a recalling process, a regurgitating process. So such a thinking of recalling and regurgitating informations does not create or foster any innovations. It does not foster any new ideas. And these are the things that we want youth to change. Thinking is a synthesizing of new informations by interpreting old information. That is what thinking is. So when you are just recalling, you are not thinking. And this is why we don't have a change in our lives. Because we don't think, we just recalling. When we are just recalling what was already thought by somebody else, such type of feeling doesn't bring new result. So it's a garbage in, garbage out. And those are the things that we want our youth to start realizing. So they must start exposing themselves to thinking that will create new idea. And it is this new idea that will bring about new solutions.